Hey guys, hope you are doing well. Today I am going to teach class 10th mathematics. Topic is quadratic equation. Okay, so you see any equation of the form px is equal to 0, where px is a polynomial of degree 2 is called a quadratic equation, right? Where you see this ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. Okay, this is the standard form of the quadratic equation. Or you can also say any equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0 and a, b, c are real numbers, okay, is called quadratic equation or standard form of quadratic equation. Got it? We solve many real life problems, a lot of real life problems of like in the form of quadratic equation. You might be thinking how can we relate that? Like suppose you want to calculate the area of a rectangle. So what is area of a rectangle? Area of rectangle length into breadth is equal to area, right? So suppose this is your rectangle, okay, and suppose area is known 300 square meter, okay, 300 meter square. So what you will do? You know, length into breadth, right? Area is length into breadth and area is known to you as 300 meter square, and it is told that length is twice of width or breadth, okay. Length is twice of breadth. That means if x is breadth, then length will be 2x, right? So what you can write is equal to x into 2x, okay. So this gives you 2x square is equal to 300, right? This is also meter square. So you see, it's not complete form of quadratic equation, like it's directly 2x square minus 300 is equal to 0. This is somewhat like quadratic, right? But this can be into complete quadratic form if suppose it is told that area of rectangle is 1 more than area of rectangle, not area, sorry, length of rectangle is equal to 1 more than twice of 1 meter more than twice of BREA DTH breadth, right? So in this case, what will happen? If x is breadth, then length will be 2x plus 1, right? And now you know area, and suppose it's told 300 meter square is the area known to you. Okay, so area is equal to length into breadth, that already you know. So length is 2x plus 1 multiplied by x, right? So 2x square plus x, right? So now area is known to you as 300 square meter. So you can write 2x square plus x is equal to 300 meter square, and this is also meter square, right? So what will happen? 2x square plus x minus 300 is equal to 0, right? So what do you see? This is the form of quadratic equation, isn't it? Quadratic form, right? So what do you see? To calculate the area of a rectangle, you needed help of quadratic form, quadratic equation, right? Or suppose if you relate it to a rectangular plot, right? Rectangular plot, and you know that rectangular plot has area of 300 square meter, and its length is 1 more than twice of breadth, then you can exactly relate like this, right? It's the same problem, and this problem, to calculate the area of the plot, you will solve like this, and this results into the mathematical form of quadratic equation. So you see, real life problems can be solved by quadratic equation. Okay, now let's take another example. John and Giovanni together, they have 45 marbles. So I have written John and Giovanni together, they have 45 marbles. Okay, now both of them lost 5 marbles each. Okay, both of them lost 5 marbles, and the product of the numbers of the marbles they now have is 124. Okay, after losing whatever number of marbles they are left with, product of those numbers is 124. We would like to find out how many marbles they had to start with. So suppose if number of marbles with John, number of marbles with John is equal to x, then number of marbles with Giovanni is equal to 45 minus x, right? Now they say they lost 5 marbles each, right? So now number of marbles with John is equal to x minus 5, and number of marbles with Giovanni is equal to 45 minus x and minus 5. So this is 40 minus x, right? Got it? Now they say what? Now they say the product of numbers of marbles they now have is 124. That means after losing 5 marbles, the product of numbers of marbles is 124. So Product of number of marbles will be x minus 5 into 40 minus x. Product of marbles product of number of marbles is equal to, what is it? 124. So 124. So let's see what was the number of marbles. With zone it's x minus 5 and with Giovanni it's 40 minus x. So x minus 5 into 40 minus x is equal to 124, right? So this is 40x minus x square. I am multiplying x with this first. Now I will multiply minus 5. So minus 200 minus minus plus, this will be 5x, right, is equal to 124. So this will become, excuse me, this is 40x minus, this was x square, right? I missed it, x square. Okay. Now this 200 plus 5x, correct, right? Now this is correct. So let's write it in actual form. Minus x square plus 40x plus 5x, okay, 40x plus 5x minus 200 minus 124 is equal to 0, okay. So minus x square plus 45x minus 324 is equal to 0. So what you see? Almost quadratic form, right? What almost? It's completely quadratic form. So you can take minus 1 as common, okay, x square minus 45x plus 324 is equal to 0, right? So this will become x square minus 45x plus 324 is equal to 0. This becomes in the quadratic form, right? This is in the form of mathematical form, mathematical quadratic form. What is this? Mathematical quadratic form, right? And this is basically form of quadratic equation. So you see, this was like normal life problem, right? Even you and I can have together. Even you and I can have together 45 marble and both of us can lose 5 marbles and the product of number of marbles is 124. So we would like to find out how much we were earlier if we have in total product this one. So you can calculate it, right, like this, right? So you can relate it to real life, right? I hope so you are getting what I am trying to teach you. Okay, let's see next problem. What is next problem? It's saying check whether following is a quadratic equation. So what is the equation right now? X minus 2 whole square plus 1 is equal to 2x minus 3. Okay, so how can we write? Do you know x minus 2 ka whole square? X minus 2 ka whole square. This is of the form a minus b ka whole square, okay, is equal to, what it will be? A square plus b square minus 2ab, right? You know this, right? I hope you remember this formula. You need to remember this formula now very much, because this will be all the formula, this a plus b square, a minus b square, and all this a square minus b square, a square plus b square, all this formula will be used very frequently in quadratic equation. So you must remember this. There is no other option. Okay. So x square plus 4 minus 4x plus 1 is equal to 2x minus 3. Okay. So now you see x square minus 4x plus 5, right? Plus 4 plus 1, 5 minus 2x plus 3, right, is equal to 0. So what you see, x square minus 4x minus 2x minus 6x, right, 5 plus 3, 8 plus 8 is equal to 0. So what do you see? Is this in the quadratic equation form? It is, right? So let's highlight this. We see that after solving this equation, we get quadratic equation. There are many more problems like this, and you will get these kind of questions in your examination. This is very simple form. Actually, there will be many different form that might be x square to the power 2, like x to the power 4, right? These kind of questions must be there, and you don't need to confuse. You need to stick to the basics, and you should know the basic concept of quadratic equation, and it can be solved very easily. Okay. So this was for the today's class. Okay. We'll discuss more in the next class. Thank you so much.